Okay, back to the animated faction pack. We are going to be covering the Klingon cards, not counting the Klingon Romulan dual faction card because we don't want to. We don't want to take too long on this video because this channel's technically still very new and YouTube doesn't like us uploading videos longer than like 15 minutes, so I have to break this down. Sorry about that. Okay, so starting off, we have the IKS Cloth. It's a D7 battlecruiser. Yay for that. Its stat bar is 3132, so it's not as tough as the Enterprise, but it is as strong firepower-wise. However, it does not have that 180-degree arc, so you're going to have to work hard to keep your enemies in your sights. Good news is it's a bit more maneuverable, has all white. It's got the Valdor greens, it looks like, and it's got 3 come about in red. It is 16 points. It is a D7 battlecruiser that has the cloak action bar. You can fit a tech, weapon, and a crew, which is interesting because this pack doesn't come with any tech at all. Its ability is if this ship is cloaked, it gains +1 attack die when attacking. If it is not in the primary firing arc of the defending ship, convert 1 battle stations into 1 crit and all others into hits. So this is I believe supposed to be what in the X-Wing game is referred to as an arc dodger, where you play the ship to try and stay out of the enemy firing arc and keep them in yours. So that's cool. I think he works best with Captain Core, or Cortoon, as some people call him. Next up, we have the IKS Divisor. Same stat bar, same slot loadout. Action bar is different. Instead of the cloak and sensor echo, you get yourself the battle stations. And he is 14 points as opposed to 16. So the Koloths I'm putting it as 4. A good card I would play. I'm not saying it's a great card because it's a D7 battlecruiser, and I've recently been trying to fly D7s and Katingas, and I found out they're very easy to kill. IKS Divisor, on the other hand, that's more of a 2. Both of these ships are tier 3, and the reason that the IKS Divisor falls in as a 2, which is what rank of OK, 2 out of 7 is an OK, is because it's one of those weirdly specific situational Klingon cards. Basically, if your target performed a speed of 3 or higher, you get to add a critical. There's a lot of Klingon ships that have abilities like this. I don't know why. I think it's because the Klingon faction is so offensive that they run out of interesting things for them to do. Besides, if this player rolls 3 dice as opposed to 4, re-roll 1 of yours. It's just like odd. It's just an odd ability for a ship. It's 14 points, so it's 2 points less. I would say fly the generic, which is 11 points, over that one. As for the generics, you get 2 of them. They're identical. They don't have the cloaking ability. They are 11 points. And I would put them at... they're an OK. I would play them. I don't have a OK I would play rank. I just have an OK rank. So they fall in at a 2 as well. For the discount, though, you might want to push it up into the good I would play as a rank of 4. However, I feel like the new faction packs are going to be discounting a lot of ships, in which case an 11-point ship like this may eventually, in an arms race, become weaker. Okay, you know what? I'm going to put the D7 battlecruiser as a good ship I would play because of how cheap it is. That might change if the game starts releasing a whole bunch, like if they make the Miranda class super cheap, if they make the Defiant class cheap, things like that, then yeah, eventually the D7 battlecruiser may not be as good compared to that. But compared to the cards we currently have in the game, D7 battlecruiser, 11 points, is good for an 11-point ship. Stronger than an Oberth. Alright, I spent too much time talking about the ships, so let's move over to the captains. We have Core, when attacking. He is an 8. He's a 5-point ship, skill 8 crew slot. Our other captain is a 4-point elite talent, 7 skill. Okay, so Core, when attacking, place 2 time tokens on this card, so you can use this every other round. If this ship rolls... No, this ship rolls +1 attack dice, and if it's cloaked, it doesn't flip its token to the red side for this attack. So that doesn't work with multiple attacks, but it does work for at least one. If it's equipped to a Klingon ship, also add 1. So this here is like... This is several cards rolled into one for only 5 points. This is like advanced cloaking. This is like tactical station, and you're also getting an extra hit for being Klingon. So he is, I would say, he is a 6. He's a great card. I'll play him. Koloth, same sort of thing. You can use him every other round because he's 2 time tokens. If the defending player must disable a captain or crew upgrade equipped to the defending ship if they can't place auxiliary power token. Cool thing about this, there's no restrictions as to whether the ship is cloaked or has shields or anything like that. So I'll put him as a 3. He's a good card. I don't think I would play him very much because I'm not... you disable your enemy captain. They just re-enable him. It would be good for breaking Federation combos. I know a couple of builds of mine that this would just totally screw over. Moving on to our elite talent for 3 points. It's supposed to, I think, be the equivalent of Legacy of the Name, but it's not nearly as good. It's Worthy Opponent. If you have 1 damage card beside your ship, you can discard this card, and that converts all the attacking ships' hits and crits and battle stations into blanks. Not sure what happens if the enemy has a card which converts blanks into something else. I guess because you're the defender, technically this conversion happens after that conversion. Anyway, only works on Klingon captains on Klingon ships. This is not as good as Legacy of the Name. I don't think it's as good on a D7 battlecruiser just because of how squishy they are. Once you get one damage card beside your ship, you're on your last legs, essentially. But this could work on some of the tougher Klingon ships. So I'm going to put this as 4. It's a good card, and I can see myself using it. Mainly because I don't think there are that many really good Klingon elite talents. So I think that's alright. Next, we have 2 copies of Magnetic Pulse, which is very similar to the other Magnetic Pulse we had. This one is 5 points for firing arc only. It's the same value as your ship's primary weapon, so that's a bit better than the other one that we had. This one's range 2 to 3, disable 1 active shield, and target an opposing ship. Oh! You don't need to disable this card to attack. I think the older version you had to disable the card. Anyway, a bonus for this one that makes it a bit better is if you fire it from a D7 class ship, you gain a +2 attack dice. And as per both versions of this card, all critical damage that would damage the shield instead inflicts 1 hull damage. Sorry, I'm tired. But you get what I'm saying. Alright, let's move on to crew before we hit that 15-minute mark. First up, we have Kaz. He kind of looks like Jane from Firefly, but Klingon, I guess. It's range 1. If a Klingon upgrade equipped to the ship or another friendly ship within range would be discarded by an opposing effect, they may discard this card instead. 2 cards. I can only think of 1 Klingon. Oh no, I guess the Klingons have several attack cancellation cards, which are crew discards. So you could use him with that. I'm going to put him at a 2. He's an okay card. I might play him, just because the Klingons do have a few discard abilities. My issue here is this faction pack comes with a discard, which is Spock, and it comes with a Klingon prevents the discard, and you can't use him with Spock, so it just hammers in the idea that this is a very weird faction pack because you can't use cards on other ships, especially because he's a Klingon ship only, along with the other Klingon upgrade, who's another Klingon ship only. She is 3 points, range 1. You discard her. So you can work with her, but I would have liked it if you could work with Spock, because it is a faction pack. These cards should be able to work on each other's ships, but they don't. They really don't. She lets you flip up a face-down critical on an enemy ship. And you get to choose which one. You get to look at them and choose which one. So that's nice. So Klingon cards, they work. You can throw all of them onto the 2 ships that you have. Like you can take this kit, bring it into a battle, and you can put all the Klingon cards onto the Klingon ships, unlike the Enterprise. The Katinga models are pretty nice. I say Katinga models because the game doesn't have a D7 model. They're all just Katingas. But I'll be touching on that again in probably the last video. The Klingons here, you get that feel. They're offensive. That's pretty much all they are in this pack. And that's kind of the gist of the Klingon faction in general. It's nice that we get a cloaking D7 battlecruiser for the Klingons. It's also nice that we get another example of Battle Stations one, and we get the discounted one. It's always nice to have another core. See you in part 3.